Well, hello and welcome back to Renting Miami. I'm Nina Millman and this is a brand new building. This is Flow Brickell and this is a 1-bedroom unit on the 48th floor, 4809. And it is 670 square feet, but look how big it feels. Why? Because look at the ceiling height. You have almost 11.5-foot ceilings, which doesn't exist anywhere else. In any other building in a standard unit, you can get that in a penthouse, but that is the standard ceiling height for this building. Insane, insane, insane. I'm obsessed. I love high ceilings. Again, I mean, I've said it before in my videos, I'm only 5'1.5", so I don't need a high ceiling for any reason, but I love it with all my heart. So this is just definitely up my alley. We're gonna go out to the balcony and check out the neighborhood in a second, but let's take a look at the finishes. I mean, sort of black finishes, pretty standard, I think, cabinetry and appliances. Nothing revolutionary, but nice. Let's check out the bathrooms. That's always important. Okay, so we have tile all the way to the ceiling. I like the black penny rounds. Black is always a nice addition in my books. Glassed in, so that's good too. We don't love those shower rails with the curtains. But again, I don't think there's anything really revolutionary about the rest of the finishes, like the flooring and so on. They're on the better end, but you know, I think still pretty simple. We're not seeing any wow light fixtures or anything else, but let's see how the closets look. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's a wow light fixture. This is really, really cool. And a lot of the decor in the building actually has such a Tulum vibe. So this is so on brand and so on point because I love Tulum and I love that style. Eventually it's gonna go out of style, I know, but for now I'm gonna hang on to it and enjoy it. That's super, super cool. I love that. And one other thing that's super interesting about this building is that the furniture is something that you can either buy a package of or rent a package of, or you can rent furnished units. And all the furniture is made by the actual company, by Flow. So it's not that they got it from Restoration Hardware or something else. And it's all made with sustainable and or recycled ingredients materials. So they really do stand behind their ethos in a lot of those ways. Like there's actually sort of work that's being done to make the planet a better place as far as the furniture that they use and that you can actually have in your unit as well. The closet, I mean, we all know I don't love a wire rack. I think now most buildings, even on the more budget-friendly side of rental buildings, are doing something more akin to a finished out designer closet, like a custom closet, even if it's just a simple wood frame. So that's not my favorite thing about it, but let's go check out the view because I think you're gonna love it. All right, check this out. And apparently this is not even one of the bigger balconies in the building, and it's massive. So the building is an oval shape, so that's architecturally really interesting, and you'll kind of see it from a lot of parts of the city because it doesn't have a lot of buildings around it, so it kind of sticks out and is very noticeable. And that also gives you views from all of the units in the building without being obstructed by buildings close by. So this is pretty spectacular. You can see the Miami River, all the cool restaurants like Casa Nios, all of the super wealthy on their mega yachts coming and going. And then you look all the way out to Biscayne Bay, all the way up to a little bit of like the Sunny Isles waterline up north. You definitely see some Miami Beach. Of course you're set back, so you do see Brickell too, but of course at night that's going to be spectacular. So a lot of different things that make this view very much alive and interesting. And my favorite, the sunset's over there, so I know that this is going to be, if you're a sunset lover and you want to be in Brickell, the building that has the best sunset views anywhere in the city. So pretty amazing. As we were discussing, walkable to Brickell City Center because you can go along the path that hugs the river waterline, and you'll be right where the H&M sign is, and Aritzia that just opened up in Brickell City Center. Aritzia has a really cool cafe too that I want to check out. So you'll be entering from that side on the north side of Brickell City Center on 7th. But very quick access, very walkable, but still tucked away in this beautiful location with these expansive, stunning views. You feel like you're kind of like you're in Brickell, but you're in another world as well. It really feels different, and I'm liking it. Okay, welcome to the terrace at 4801. This is a 2-bedroom. We're gonna see another 2-bedroom because this one they're still finishing the furniture, is being put together. So I just wanted to show you the view from here though. This is spectacular. I'm sure I don't really need to say that. You can see that for yourselves. But it just sort of goes to show how it's interesting. The architecture really influences the view. The fact that you're on this curve and you have this massive balcony, you see all the way from the east side of, South Beach, you see south of 5th, all the way down to the Coconut Grove waterline, and just so much of the bay and the ocean over South Beach and over the bay. And then you feel like you're kind of like on top of the world. Like Brickell is like just laid at your feet. So that is a spectacular feeling, and I just wanted to show you this as one of the views for the options that you have. And because the building is so new, there's so many available units that really you can choose whatever works for you, which is so exciting as well. For me, being a sunset lover, I love that there's so much open, unobstructed sunset that just floods this space. But then, you do have the water as well. So that's so peaceful and calming. It's so picturesque. You just really do get the best of all worlds, which is super rare, and I think kind of a jewel in Brickell. Okay, so one of the incredible amenities at Flow Brickell is actually not even within the building. It's outside of the building, which is so different. There's a lot to get your mind around with this development. So one of the things is this river walk. So you can see the Miami River, you can see the boats and all the activity, which on a Sunday is kind of crazy. There's constant party boats. Today we're here during the week, so it's a little more quiet, but there's still life on the water. But even more life is just down this pathway where you can be connected to Brickell City Centre, American Social, and all the restaurants that are going to be like in the Standard across the way that connect you from here to Brickell City Centre. I'm thinking it's probably about a maybe 7 to 10 minute walk, but right on the water. It's always cooler with that breeze off the water no matter what time of year. Absolutely gorgeous, and something that we really don't have in the city portion of Miami. It's not, even though it's walkable, you don't have a lot of nature walks like this. You really just have Brickell Key that you can walk around the outside. So this is so cool. You can be here with your dog, you can rollerblade, you can walk if you just want to get something to eat or do some shopping. And it connects the city that is like the most sort of walkable currently part of the city to this new area, which is a little bit on the west side of Brickell that we're going to see a lot more of as we get inside the building. So additional outdoor amenities include these beautiful jewel box retail spaces. And we've seen that, in any kind of a condo or an apartment building, what is actually inside the retail spaces does very much speak to the kind of culture that is within the building and the lifestyle that you have within the building. So imagine if there's like a huge gym over here where you can work out looking over the Brickell skyline and the river, or if on this side there's a waterfront restaurant where you can host parties and have like very upscale dining. All of those options, or if, for example, it's going to be like a WeWork space, like what the owner of this Flow corporation and building, Adam Newman, is known for. He's the former CEO of WeWork. Lots of interesting facts that you can look up about him, but he is very much involved in this project, very passionate about the principles and values that the project is all about. So he's choosing carefully who can actually be in here, because he has a lot of values around community. Even simple things like love is one of the mission statements for the building. So this is another retail space right behind us, and this is the whole building, which goes up 54 stories. It is definitely changing the skyline of Brickell and of Miami, and the ethos that it brings in, which is all very different to the typical party lifestyle and dog eat dog ambition of Brickell, is something very new for the area. So I would be very curious to see what you guys think. Let's go check out some more. Welcome to the gym at Flow Brickell. This is a huge space, all fully equipped with techno gym equipment. The building just opened literally a few days ago, so there are only about 7 residents in the building right now, so the gym is all yours if you want it. Every piece of equipment is available. You have stunning sunset views that are going to come through as the light changes later in the day. It's just a very open space. Now, wellness is super important to the brand Flow. Wellness and community are the two real cornerstones of the ethos behind this particular building and set of buildings. There's one in Fort Lauderdale, one in downtown, one here, and then there are actually a couple in Saudi Arabia, which is an odd pairing, but it is what it is. So I think it's very interesting that the focus of Miami now, instead of being on partying, is about connecting and being healthy. very big shift. I know in my life since I've moved here, that's been kind of the shift in my personal journey, but it seems like the city is following along with something kind of similar, which is really interesting. So beautiful gym space. So this is the yoga room. There are going to be a lot of classes and events that are all free for residents. So this is a beautiful space for people to gather and share their love of wellness, but also get to know one another. So for people that are brand new to Miami, this is a really great option as well to be able to meet people and make friends immediately in this gorgeous state-of-the-art space. So imagine this full of yoga mats, the sun setting, your teacher getting you ready to wind down together for the day. So it's really a beautiful place to meet and to do life together. So this is the pool deck. It is not all the way ready. There is just placeholder furniture here for now, but the pool is open, it's ready to use. It is beautiful. It's actually surprisingly quiet because we are sort of close to the 95 on the west side of the building, but you really just do see beautiful Brickell views which will light up at night. You see some water over the Coconut Grove side to the south. It's stunning, and there's actually going to be 2 cold plunges around the corner that connect through to the spa area that has a really big dry sauna as well. So again, wellness and community, the cornerstones of this particular beautiful living space, and a stunning place to live overall. There's going to be some grills and outdoor dining that are elevated, so that's going to be so pretty because it's like in the sort of eastern corner of the pool deck. So at night you're going to get the full surrounding Brickell lights, and then you'll see a little bit down to the river as well. So a beautiful place to host a party or just eat outside. Okay, welcome to 4811. This is a 2+ den and it is absolutely stunning. This floor plan apparently is, believe it or not, almost all gone. It's the most popular floor plan in the building. You walk in and you have a coat closet, I guess. I'm like, we don't really need coats in Miami, and hence it doesn't actually have a coat rack. It's just, you know, racks for either linens or as a pantry because it is adjacent to the kitchen. Kitchen is nice and open. You have this insane view that you can see immediately as you walk in, which is beautiful. And of course, we'll get there in a second. But this is actually a 2+ den. So the first thing you'll encounter is actually the den on the right-hand side. And it is a really good sized den. You can use this as a media room. You can use it as an office for all of the work from home folks, or you can use it as a dressing room for all of the fashionistas. So very flexible, great space. I think we've got some additional, okay, that's the AC. I think this may be the washer dryer. Let's take a peek. Yes, so that's AC and washer dryer. We don't have additional closet space, but like I said, that can all be your closet. Why not? Put a nice rug in the middle, a nice poof so that you can sit, maybe like a cabinet for your jewelry. 12 out of 10. So then this is the living space. We'll go out on the balcony. Of course, you already know the view is incredible, but I did want to mention that the building has a lot of different floor plans. So it starts with studios and goes all the way up to 3 bedrooms. The studios are on the lower floors and they actually have 14-foot ceilings. So remember we said this is 11 and a half almost. Imagine this at 14. 14 looks so high, you're like it almost looks like a double high once you hit 14. Even as you hit 13 and a half, 13, it looks double high. So massive, and that's the studios. So remember, those are going to be the most affordable and smallest as far as square footage, but the ceiling height elevates them literally and figuratively and emotionally. This one is around 1,400 square feet. And it is, like I said, 2+ den, but there's also 1+ dens and 3 bedrooms as well as the studios. So you have second bathroom, similar to what we saw before. Second bedroom, and these beautiful light fixtures that I think add so much character and dimension to the space are available if you get the furnished package like what we're seeing here. If you go with an unfurnished unit, you're just going to have kind of basic light fixtures. So that's something to keep in mind. Then we have a reach-in closet. Again, very standard wire rack, a basic wire rack. I think now, like I was saying, I think the standard is for something, at least a wood finish, even if it isn't functionally different. And unfortunately, they're not offering packages with custom closets like some buildings like Panorama do, but you can of course put your own in if you want to. The building is fine with that. So coming through to the primary, speaking of closets, this is the kind of closet where you would want to go ahead and add some modular closet, space, do something really beautiful because it's such a great space. It's huge. I don't know if that really picks up on camera. It's like a reach in on steroids because it's still that sort of long, rack style, but it's so big that there is a ton that you can do with it, and it's definitely walk in. Then you have your primary bathroom, which is again the same. So it's kind of like a dual primary as far as the bathrooms really being the same. You don't have double vanities in either one. Same sort of shower setup with those beautiful, full glass showers. I really do like those black penny rounds a lot. They make such a difference to add that little bit of depth and character. Again, you get that super cool Tulum light fixture. Love that. And just a great size room. It's very, very wide, so you could easily accommodate a really big king bed here. They just have a queen, but you could certainly put much more furniture in here if you wanted to. And of course we have to check out the view because the view is sick. So again, you get a sense of the size of the balconies. It doesn't seem like any of the units have small balconies. You could put pretty hefty furniture out here, like day beds, big dining tables. Imagine you have a huge dining table here, you're entertaining your friends, the sun sets and the lights start to twinkle in Brickell, or it's a Sunday brunch and you see all of the boats coming and going on the river with their music playing. It's just such a vibe. You really are kind of getting the most of city living in this location, I think. And I love the building. I think it's a little controversial, the whole lifestyle and thought process behind it. I think the thought process is great, but I know that Adam Newman does have a lot of controversy around him. He does have a special on Apple TV that goes over his time and eventual firing at WeWork. So there are mixed opinions on whether or not people think that his peace, love, and joy, kind of like we're all one big global community and we love each other moment is genuine, or if it's just intended to create retention at his properties and up the bottom line. But I think it's great that he's really involved. It's not this massive corporation that's detached from the actual visionary that's behind it. So I think what I'm seeing I like. I would love to hear your comments. I hope you love the video. Let me know if you're interested in touring this building. I think it's pretty awesome and it's a big addition to the Brickell rental community and profile. So it's changing the city, you guys. Let me know what you think. I love you.